Learning to speak French is a wonderful opportunity. This presentation will help you to understand the many ways you can benefit from bilingualism. Let's start with the importance of French. Because the language of the majority of North Americans is English, we're not always aware of just how much French is spoken in our world. French is spoken by over 200 million people in more than 50 countries around the world. Obviously, French is spoken in France, but what about Egypt, the land of the pyramids and pharaohs, or Switzerland, the home of the magnificent Alps? French is spoken in those countries as well as many others. Trying to imagine the 200 million people who speak French is difficult. Just how many people is that? It may be easier to understand the importance of French if you look at the organizations that use it. The United Nations, the European Union, and the Olympics all have French as an official language. When holding meetings, sending emails, or having press conferences, French is the language in which they choose to communicate. And why is that? Because French is spoken on every continent of the planet. North America, Europe, and Africa all have large Francophone populations. You might not know that several countries on the Atlantic coast of South America are French-speaking, and that Vietnam, a country in the heart of Asia, is also French-speaking. French is a truly vital language to cultures and people all over the world, and it is widely used for business, education, and most importantly, communication. Canada is an officially bilingual country. Over 30% of our population speaks French as either a first or a second language. That's almost 9 million people. In Manitoba, 10% of our population speaks French. More than 100,000 Manitobans contribute to our vibrant and exciting French-Canadian culture. So now you know just how important and widely used the French language is. What difference does that make to you? Whatever your reason for learning French, being bilingual is definitely an advantage. With so many people in the world and in our country who speak French, knowing it literally broadens your horizons. You have access to twice as many books, twice as much music, more television, more theater, more culture. Many popular Hollywood movies are based on French films, and there's a huge amount of French music in the world. From country to rap, pop to punk, if it exists in English, it exists in French, and you can enjoy it when you learn the language. The opportunities to participate in French culture are everywhere. Manitoba has very strong French ties, and one of our biggest salutes to la francophonie, the French-speaking community of the world, is the Festival du Voyageur, which is held every year in St. Boniface. This giant winter festival celebrates French-Canadian culture and history right here in Manitoba. Chances are you've at least heard of Festival, and you've probably attended it with school or with family. It's a wonderful chance to use your language skills, learn about French culture, and have a good time. When you become bilingual, you actually improve the way your brain functions. Here's the simplest way to explain this phenomenon. When you meet someone on the street who speaks quickly in French, you may not understand everything that's being said. So how will you understand what they are saying? You will pay better attention to their tone, facial expressions, and gestures. You are literally looking at the bigger picture. To learn another language is to change the way you learn. If you play hockey, you attend regular practices to make sure that slap shots and defensive plays are second nature to you, which makes you a better player. It's the same with learning French. The more you use it, the stronger you become. Your problem-solving skills, creativity, memory, reading, mathematics, and language skills increase. When you learn to speak French, it's easier to learn a third or fourth language. Bilingual people often have excellent English language skills, partly because French and English share over 20,000 words. How much French do you already know? Probably a lot more than you think. Look at these paragraphs written in English. They describe someone's job, their vacation, and their social habits. As they're read aloud, try to keep track of how many words you see or hear that are French.
I'm an entrepreneur, and my forte is really in the international milieu. It's very important to know the right etiquette in every country, or I'll make a serious faux pas. Knowing my clients aren't critiquing me behind my back means that they'll keep using my services. On my vacations, I love to spend time in tranquil areas like the woods, camping, and the beach. I like to find my own route and detours. That just means more adventures. I'm a petite brunette and usually like to go au naturel, but I've been known to throw on a blonde wig, mauve eyeshadow, and a chic little outfit to hit the town for a big soiree.
You might be surprised to see that 24 words from these paragraphs are French. Did you understand what was said? For the most part, you probably did. French has been integrated into the English language for hundreds of years. Here are just a few of the 20,000 words that are almost identical in French and English, words you've probably known since you were a little kid. Are these words English or French? In either language, they look the same, sound the same, and usually mean the same thing, which means no matter how much French you think you've learned, you already have a large French vocabulary. When students are asked why they're taking French, many will say for better career opportunities. Choosing a career is an important decision. The work world is a competitive place. You will always need to set yourself apart. Why should you be hired as a nurse, a doctor, a flight attendant, a pilot, or a teacher? The ability to communicate is one of the most important skills employers seek when hiring. And the working world is becoming international. Your ability to work with people from different provinces and countries is a great asset. The other benefits of learning a second language, such as increased creativity, memory, and problem-solving skills, improve your chances of being singled out for a great job. Knowing French doesn't guarantee you the perfect career. However, it could be the reason you're chosen for an interview out of hundreds of people. Now that's a very real advantage. National and international travel are becoming easier and more affordable. It seems the whole world is at your fingertips via the internet. But when you arrive at your destination, you'll still need to find a washroom, go to your hotel, and order meals, not to mention have conversations with the local people and other travelers. Being able to speak the language in a country you're visiting not only helps you get around, but helps you fully experience a new culture. One of the most visited cities in the world is Paris, France. The Eiffel Tower and the Louvre Museum are just two of the hundreds of sights to see. France also has breathtaking mountains, beautiful beaches, and quaint country villages. In Canada, the province of Quebec has a French identity of its own. Over 90% of Québécois speak French, and the city of Quebec was one of the first settlements of Canada. Rich history, beautiful scenery, and vibrant nightlife await you in La Belle Province. North African countries were colonized by the French over a century ago, and although they have since regained their independence, the French language still remains. Try riding a camel in the Sahara Desert, or visiting a large metropolitan city such as Dakar, the capital of Senegal, whose population is well over 1 million. Many Manitobans take a break from winter and escape to the Caribbean. Many islands in this region are French-speaking, and they offer beautiful beaches and resorts that are perfect for some fun in the sun. If you're looking for a real adventure, Vietnam is truly unique. Exotic foods, cultural festivals, and vibrant forests are yours to discover. Do you love live sporting events? Many international competitions are held in French. Monte Carlo offers first-class Formula One racing in a mostly francophone region of Europe. Montreal also hosts Formula One racing once a year, along with many associated activities and events. One of France's most famous events, the Tour de France, attracts elite cyclists from all over the world. These athletes race through the French countryside and cross the finish line at the famous Arc de Triomphe. One of the world's most popular sporting events, World Cup Soccer, brings fans from all over the world to witness soccer's greatest players in action. Games are announced in French, and many teams use French to communicate with each other. If you ever have the chance to play World Cup soccer on any gaming console, pay attention to what the players are saying. It'll be in French. Canada is an officially bilingual country and known all over the world as a multicultural and diverse nation. Build your national pride by becoming a bilingual Canadian.
Das hier ist mein Sektor. Das hier ist das wichtigste Gerät des Küstenwächters. Das Gerät und das Gerät. Überlebensradar.
Mayday, Mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you... Over. We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
French for life. Say oui to opportunity.